What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 2022 two-person best shot at Wildcat Springs, presented by Huck and Hope. This is on a newly redesigned version of Wildcat. It's a lot longer, a lot more technical, and a lot more fun. Of course, it's just over 7,000 feet. These two groups are starting on hole number 4. You've got the road that curls around here. That is OB, but this gravel section that we're on right now is in play. And this basket's been pushed all the way back. First person to the tee is Colin Poe. That got a little left of the area he wanted to be at. This is filmed on a GoPro, so I don't have much zoom, so I'll try to tell you where they go if you can't see. Here's Derrik running out of nowhere. He puts a pretty good shot down there. Up next is Ben Power. He got down pretty good. This is such a beautiful course, especially during the summer when everything's green like this. And here's Seth Terwelp. And that faded out a little early for him. So it looks like Colin is going to throw first again. They've got the one tree that's a good guardian to get on this green area. Seems to be right in line with the basket for him. Derrik's going to try to throw forehand up there. And he'll be just on the edge of the stuff there. Looks like Ben and Seth are in a pretty good position here. It's pretty ideal. That's going to fade out a little early as well. And here's Seth going with the forehand. We turned that over. So they're going to have some tough putts. This is a par 4 for these guys. It looks a little soft, but the putt means everything here. You got a little channel from the Mississippi River about 30 feet behind this basket. So your approach is pretty guarded on the backside. Here's Colin trying to get a birdie. He'll want that one back. He kind of lofted that. So they're about 25 out. Easy money. So on to hole 5. There's water to the left that is out of bounds. That tall stuff to the right is just not fun to play out of. There's the old pin, and here we go, about 80 feet past is the new pin. It's almost 400 feet. And throwing a hyzer, you got to watch out for the tree that's in the middle of that rough on the right. A lot of people kind of fade over a backhand or throw a forehand here. And he kind of caught that tree a little bit. Here's Seth. He's going to go with a turnover backhand. That's going to end up pretty good. Here's Colin Poe, electing for the forehand, which if you've got 375 to 400 foot, that's probably the best option on this hole. A little short, but good. And Derrik, he wastes no time. He just picks a line and goes for it. There's a little bit of breeze. Looked like that didn't come out of it. Seth up first. They got a couple trees in the way. Looks to be on the edge of circle 2. That was an excellent approach. Just kidding, Seth. And here's Ben. Breeze picking up a little bit. Yeah, that's a tough putt from there. Looks like they were parked for the old pin. They got a low-hanging branch to get past, trying to make this birdie. Stepper. Derrik has such a smooth action on his putts and his forehands, everything. He's a great golfer. And Colin has really, really gotten good too. Just off the basket. Looks like a couple pars coming up. Easy tap-ins. So through 2, Ben and Seth are neg 1, and Colin and Derrik are even. So here is hole 6. Up on top of the ridge. You got the channel of the Mississippi along the left, that's OB. It kind of gets wider at the end. So if you don't quite get the turnover on your shot you want, when it hyzers down, you got a little landing area. It's on target. Looks a little short. And that's hyzering out. That's close. That might have gotten down to keep dry, but it's not very deep there. He'll be able to get it back either way. Looks like we're going to see a forehand from Colin. And he does not like that. And let's see what Derrik does. Going with the forehand. Watch how smooth this is. It stays out to the left a little bit. But a ton of distance. Look at that, almost pin high. Colin misses wide right. Looks like they're about 10 or 15 feet into circle 2. Derrik with the stepper. Just misses. That's kind of a tricky putt coming back out of there, as overgrown as that is. Seth getting a distance. Probably to jump putt. Ben's going first. Oh my goodness. About an inch too short. And that pin's elevated pretty high. These GoPros don't quite show the change in elevation that it really is. Just short. Oh, looks like a couple more pars here. Oh yeah, there's that junk on the back of it coming into play. Just short. Derrik's from Fort Madison. He's used to all these weeds and woods. Yeah, that's not a big deal for him. So they walk away with a par as well. Going on to hole 7. This has been shortened a little bit. I believe this walkthrough will show you the original pin placement. Again, that channel runs along the left. That is out of bounds. And here's the short pin. If you go across this bridge, there's the old one. So we're going to the short pin today. Just over 300 feet. The wind can make this a little more challenging. It slammed it down a little bit, but he's still got some good distance on it. I think that'll be just fine. Yeah, Ben agrees. A lot of air bounces. Here's Seth. If that hyzers, that's going to be pretty good. Oh, it's not quite enough. It's in that tall weeds, grass down there. It gets pretty muddy in that too. Here's Derrik. That looks pretty good there. A little finish. He's definitely inside the circle. And here's Colin. Might be a little early. Yeah, it got into the trees there. But Derrik's shot was just fine. Colin going for the birdie putt in his traditional purple shirt. And he missed again. He's probably not going to like rewatching this round, folks. There's Derrik. Of course he makes it. And Ben for the birdie. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting on track. Couple birdies. Going into hole 8. This goes over another gravel section. It's just your standard backhand hyzer up to this ridge here. If you can get to the right of that telephone pole down there and that tree right behind it, have it hyzer in, that's about the line you want. There is a forehand line, but it's a pretty far forehand. There's Ben. And didn't come back quite enough, but it had plenty of distance on it. Here's Seth. Getting that wind, not letting it turn enough. Looks like a pretty good shot from Colin. Derrik wasting no time at all. It looks like it got a little bit of a turn to the right on it. And it's out there pretty far. They got some long putts coming in. There's Derrik with the stepper, a little short. Well, they're out there in circle 2, towards the backside of it. Colin's stepper, just off the top. The band stopped it. So here now with an opportunity to go up 2 strokes is the team of Seth and Ben. Looks like they're barely inside circle 1. Just off the left side. Trying to read that wind. And short. So they missed an opportunity there. Both teams will par this hole. So on to hole 9. Ben and Seth are up by 1. Hole 9 is a 311-foot par 3, and it is up this big hill. Once you get up to the top, it is back a little ways. Backhand hyzer for the power throwers is what most people choose. And he got rid of that early. Looks like it got up top though. He'll have a look. See what route Seth decides to take. He's going up the gut. That got a little low. Here's Derrik taking the forehand route. This is the route I normally choose as well. Look at that lift. It didn't hyzer too bad at the end though. He'll have a putt. Colin, he's a forehand expert as well. Looks like his Wolverine dyed disc. That's a good line there, but it's a little high with that wind. That's not too bad though. Seth's up first for the birdie from about 50 feet. Just short again. Boy, he's on target, just a little short. Bend for birdie. Same thing, right on target, just a little short. Giving strokes back to the other team here, I think. Who's going to putt first? Looks like Derrik. Just a little short for him. Let's see if Colin can get the spark going. Yeah, now he's doing his putting routine. There you go, Colin. There's a nice bird. They tied it up. Now they're both 2 under going into hole 10. This hole has been stretched and is a very, very difficult hole. You throw over this ravine, and then it turns to the left, goes through a lot more trees. You got a road to the right that is out of bounds, rarely comes into play. So here's Derrik. And he went inside of that tree, so he might have made it up top pretty good. Sometimes you get a kick and land down in the bottom, and that is a long hole for that. Next up is Colin. He's going to try to force a forehand through. Couldn't see where it landed, but it made it through up top. Yeah, as Derrik's pointing down the ravine to the left, there is a forehand route through there. It's pretty sneaky. Here's Ben. That looks like it's perfect. Yep, nice shot, Ben. Seth will try to power one past that. Went through the early side, but he made it up top. So there's the old pin. He would have been parked for that one, but you got to go about another 200 feet to get to the long pin. Ooh, hit the guardian tree. There's 3 big guardian trees there in the center, and to the left there's 2 smaller ones, so it's definitely guarded. You have to hit a really good line to get up there for the birdie. This is a par 4. Not sure if he liked that too well. It's not too bad of an angle from this side. You've got a backhand line that can hyzer in at the end, try to get in between those trees. Looks like that's what he's doing. I think he snuck through there. If not, he's inside of him, which will give you a pretty good putt. And Derrik wasted no time, tries the same thing. And he got through as well. There's Derrik. Wasted no time again, makes his birdie. And now they got 2 in a row. Here's Seth the match to stay tied. And that hit a lot of chains to drop out like that. Just on the left side again. A little bit of pressure on his partner here. And he hit it a little short. So now Derrik and Colin are up by 1 going into hole 11. This one's over a ravine that's very guarded by a lot of weeds and trees. But once you get through, you only got those 3 trees to miss. The volleyball court's OB, the road's OB behind it. Very technical hole. Trying the turnover forehand shot. See a lot of people throw the hyzer shot over towards those porta potties over there. But it's a tight line. You have to really commit to it. Looks like Colin's going with the forehand. It's a good line. Should be a putt out there. As windy as it is, the actual green for this hole is pretty open. So it can make those longer putts a little more difficult with the OB right behind it. And Ben's going for the traditional backhand route. Looks like he hit the line pretty good if it gets clean. Seth will probably do the same. He might be going up the gut. And yeah, he went up the gut. Shorter distance up the gut, but a lot more trouble. So Ben and Seth look to be about 40 feet out. The OB's not really close behind it, so they can run at it pretty good. There you go, good birdie. Looks like Derrik and Colin were about 4 feet from the out of bounds there. So they're just on the circle's edge. A little bit of traffic we're waiting for. The stepper. Oh, it just fell out the right side. A little pressure for Colin here, but I think he likes that. Gets into his routine. Step puts up and nails it. Great putt, dude. Looks like he got the CTP as well. So they both birdie on that hole. Colin and Derrik are still up by 1 going into the signature hole, hole 12. This is a monster. It's downhill to this little bowl, and there is a small dry creek that runs through here. It's ideal to be on the left side of this creek, so you have good footing right here, and you're all the way back up the hill. This is a monster second shot. There's the basket. It's over 750 feet. And getting a birdie on this hole is very difficult. I've seen a few forehands work on this hole, but almost everybody opts for the backhand. That's got a good line. And it looks to be floating close to going over that creek. That's where you want to be. And Derrik's going to try to flip a forehand up. I don't think he had enough turn on that. But you had to try it. I think Colin's sitting pretty good down there. Here's Ben. He's going with the backhand. He wants it to push left. It's getting left a little bit. You can stay on the right side of the creek as long as you're on the left side of that tree down there. It's just more of a difficult angle. Here's Seth. And that looks really good. Will it hyzer enough? About in the same area, it looks like. So yeah, here's Seth and Ben. They didn't make it over the creek, but they've got a really good angle here. That's about as close as you can get in having good footing for your second shot. And it is a long way up that hill. There is some tall grass on the right once you get over this ridge, and that is out of bounds because it's out of the park. Oh man, bad break. They got stuck in the edge of the rough there. What a forehand. Holy smokes. He got up over the hill. They might have a putt. You know it's thick when your partner's got to show you where the mini is. That is a pretty steep angle to be stepping on. Trying to throw uphill as well. All right, Colin's made his decision. Looks like he's going to do a small run up. Kind of slipped a little there. It's not a bad shot, but I think they'll use Derrik's. Yeah, here's Derrik's. He got up there pretty good. Wow. They've got about a 90-footer here. Big jump putt. Just in front of it. Some of those limbs from that tree kind of hang out, so it is a tough line. Here's Derrik. Oh, that looks good. Get in there. Nice shot. What a birdie. That is a tough hole to birdie. Let's see if Ben and Seth can match that. They're a little bit closer. Of course, when you get big putted like that, it makes it more difficult. Yeah, that hung up a little. Throwing down to the bowl, that's a good idea to take a knee. Get level with the basket. He lays out for it. Same thing, left a little high. So they're going to card a 4, which is still a pretty good score on this hole, and that win too. And Derrik and Colin take a 2-stroke lead. That was the front 9, holes 4 through 12. Derrik and Colin are up by 2. We'll check you out on the back 9. Thanks for watching, everybody.